So we've just made it through our Europa League playoff, and now we're going to have the draw for the group stage in the Europa League. We've been seeded second for the draw as well. And it's the Europa League theme song I can use for this draw. I'll see if I can find one. And you see the first seeds here. We are part of the second seeds, and these are the third seeds and the fourth seeds as well. So there's quite a few teams in the top seeds that I'm definitely hoping to avoid. Juventus and Dortmund being the main two. So let's draw the first seeds and see who's where. Alright, so Group D and Group H, I would say, are the groups to avoid. Let's find out where we're going to be placed then. It's not Group D. And it's not Group H. We've avoided the big two, and we've got Zenit in Group L. Now let's draw the third seeds. Just like in the Champions League, we are in the last group, and with 4 teams to go, I'm hoping for Vitesse or Sparta Prague. It's not going to be Sparta Prague, and it is going to be Vitesse. And the fourth seeds, let's find out who's taking on in the final, with the final team. And it's going to be Maccabi Tel Aviv from Israel. And I've got to say, that's a very kind group, that. I think Zenit away in Russia could be quite a tricky test. But Vitesse, we should beat home and away. And Maccabi Tel Aviv, I'm pretty sure we can beat them home away as well. So that's a good group, that. That's a very kind group. Again, it's just Zenit, I would say, that are the only team there that I'm worried about. No disrespect to Vitesse or to Maccabi Tel Aviv, but when you think about the quality of players we've got, we should be able to take out the Dutch side, the Israeli side, and the Russian side, Zenit. Again, away from home, it could be a little tricky test for us, but I think really that should be our group to top. That's a kind group there. I'll take that. Hey, what's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode in my Football Manager series. This is episode 55, and today we're returning 2 games of our Bluebirds as take on Brighton away in the Premier League and take on Zenit at home in our first ever Europa League group game. Before we play the games though, just go and getting on off camera. And of course, after the last episode where you saw the season opener, the 1-0 victory over Manchester City in the Premier League, I played 6 games off camera, 3 in Europe, 2 in the Premier League, and 1 in the Carabao Cup. And as you can see, 6 wins from 6 as our 100% starts of the season in all competitions continued. Second leg of our Europa League third qualifying round at home to Cluj. Also, we left the first leg 3-0, and we were pretty confident we were going through to the 4th round, which we did. Woodburn scored a penalty 3 minutes in, and Murphy made it 2-0. Nice goal as well, as we made it through to the 4th round where we took on Sampdoria. Before that, we took on Leeds away at Ellen Road back in the Premier League, and we won by a goal to 0, just like on the opening day. Jason getting his first goal of the season, converting a penalty. Doesn't miss penalties, Jason. Never lets you down from 12 yards, as he scored the only goal of the game in another 1-0 victory. And following that, the first leg of our final playoff of the Europa League qualifier against Sampdoria, well, we were leading by 2 goals to 0 inside the first 8 minutes. Murphy scored the first goal, and then the own goal that came 8 minutes in was just bizarre. There was a back pass played by Vapes, if you will, and the goalkeeper Colombi just stood there and watched it go into the bottom corner. We've discussed goalkeepers so many times throughout the save. In FM20, I hope that SI made that one of their biggest priorities for the game. Goalkeepers in this year's FM are just absolutely tragic. I mean, we bang on about Onana being error prone. The truth is, every goalkeeper in FM is error prone. It's crazy. But Sampdoria did score a stoppage time penalty through Cenk Tosun to make it 2-1 and grab themselves a late away goal in that game. So it did make us feel a little bit nervous heading into the second leg. But before the second leg, we took on Everton away at Goodison Park. Obviously, our friendly rivals. We took on the Toffees away from home. And Peleo Maria hadn't scored a goal in the Premier League in the first 2 games, but he scored a hat-trick in 28 minutes in this one to show he justifies that new big bumper 5-year deal. I think all of his goals came from headers as well. Peleo Maria on fire in this game. 3 goals up, 28 minutes in, and Nketiah scored a consolation goal. That's all it was for the hosts. And then following that away from home against Sampdoria, fielded a really strong lineup for this game away in Italy for the second leg of the 4th playoff. Could not afford to get knocked out before we made it to the group stage. And after Maria scored 2 goals in 12 minutes, that was basically that. We were through to the group stage, and of course you see the group draw at the start of today's episode. And our final game of camera was a 3-3 draw against Walsall in the second round of the Carabao Cup. This was a crazy game. Taking on the lower league side, I thought we brushed them aside as we are the back-to-back champions. We had a 2-goal lead on 2 different occasions in this game. And with 5 minutes to go, we were leading by 3 goals to 1. I thought the tie was in the bag. I was basically ready to walk down the tunnel, but instead we threw it away and Walsall forced a penalty shootout. Barlow scored 2 goals in the final 5 minutes. The first one was just literally a pub football goal. A long ball from the goalkeeper. Matip lost his bearings and and a lovely finish made it 3-2, and then he scored a penalty in stoppage time to force a penalty shootout. But thankfully, unlike the heartache we suffered in the Champions League final in the last game of the season against Milan last year, we scored every single penalty, and Dean Henderson was the hero as our goalkeeper saved 2 as we made it through to the third round, where we'll be taking on Colchester United away from home. So yeah, 100% record to start the season off. Fantastic beginning to the campaign so far. It's not going to last, and I'm pretty sure we will slip up in 1 of 2 games today, away against Brighton or at home to Zenit in the Europa League group opener. And right now in the Premier League, as you can see, after 3 wins from 3 even, we're sitting in 5th place right now, 9 points on the board, and yeah, the only team right now that have a 100% record in the Premier League, and we do have the game in hand as well. And also, I forgot to discuss this in the season opener, but this is our competitions overview heading into Season 7 and what we need to do in all 4 of our competitions. In the Premier League, once again, Vincent Town wants us to qualify for the Europa League. Definitely doable with the team we've got. I want us to break into the top 4, but we know how hard that's going to be. So finishing 5th or 6th, and that'll be good enough for the board and for me as well. In the Europa League, though, our first ever season in the Europa League, we're supposed to reach the semi-final in our first year in the competition. That's going to be very difficult to do, but after our success in the Champions League last year, I can see why the aspiration is so high. In the FA Cup, once again, we've got to reach the 6th round. Last year, we reached the 4th round, so we've got to do better this year. And in the Carabao Cup, of course, we won it back-to-back in the save in the past 2 years. We've got to reach the quarterfinals this year. But I want to see if we can go all the way and win it again. If we can have a three-peat in the Carabao Cup, I think that would be fantastic. So yeah, reach the quarterfinals in the Cup, but I'd like to see us go all the way and win it once again, even though that would be very difficult to do for a 3rd straight year. So yeah, first game is indeed against Brighton in the Premier League away from home. Just before we play that, one quick thing to show you, there is a change in the hierarchy at the club. Andre Onana has relinquished his role as team leader. He stepped down from the trio, and Ryan Sessegnon is now back to being a team leader. These 3 have changed over the past 6 to 8 months. First, it was Maria not in the team leader, and Andre and Sessegnon. Then it was Maria and Onana, and now it's Maria and Sessegnon joining Jason, the captain, of course, as the long-standing team leader. And in the social groups right now, we've got 3 splits. The 2 Benfica boys are in the secondary social, and Stefano is on his own for some reason, which I don't like to see. And there you go. So yeah, first game is indeed against Brighton. Again, we're definitely going to slip up in 1 of our 2 games today, but let's hope we don't and keep our 100% record going. This is team for the game 4-2-3-1, and right now everyone is fighting fit heading into the game, apart from Gonzalez, who's coming back from Colombia duty and is not fit enough to start. Oh yes, and one thing as well, if you follow me on Twitter, you would have seen this yesterday. Peleo Maria has finally been called up for Spain. Finally, Maria got a Spain call up. He won his first cap in an international league game against, was it Sweden? Yeah, Sweden, where Spain won by 2-0. Maria finally called up by Spain. It took them long enough, but now they recognise his talent. And also as well, one thing on Maria to report as well is that I am now developing his weaker foot. Now, lots of you guys have been commenting throughout the save that Peleo Maria is only a right-footed player and doesn't have any sort of weaker foot whatsoever. A lot of you guys have been asking why I've never sort of asked him to attempt to develop the weaker foot. One of the big reasons why is because when that happens, oftentimes the player's stats will take a hit because, of course, it then sort of represents how they do on both feet as opposed to just on one. So I haven't wanted to do that because one of the most frustrating things for me in FM is when you see red arrows on a young player in particular. But I'm willing to take that sacrifice, and Maria is going to develop his weaker foot, which he needs to do really. He's only a right-footed player, and if he wants to be an elite striker in world football, he's got to develop a left foot, and that's what he's doing right now in training. And Bergkamp is working on it with that. And if you want a player to be worked on his technical side of the game, Dennis Bergkamp is the right coach to do it. But anyway, yeah, first game today, it's Brighton away, and let's see how we get on at the Amex. 4-2-3-1 for the game and our normal instructions, and this is our lineup. Onana in goal, back for Goncalves, Kimpembe, Jordi, and Stefano with Ward-Prowse and McKennie the CMs. Attacking midfield trio, Sessegnon on the left, Jason on the right, and Alenya through the middle, supporting Maria up top. And on the bench, Henderson, Holding, Odriozola, McTominay, Camarasa, Murphy, and Pedro Antonio still yet to score his first goal for the club. So first game, it's Brighton away. Let's keep the win streak going. Come on, you Bluebirds. I expect nothing but a win from this match to keep our good run going. Yes, that's what you want to see. Funnily enough, I was talking about Dennis Bergkamp yesterday. I was with a friend of mine, and we were in a pub in the afternoon. And, you know, as you do, you get talking about football. And the BBC did a list very recently, I think it was last week or the week before, on the top 50 foreign players in Premier League history. And they left Dennis Bergkamp off the list. And I was absolutely baffled by that. Anyone that was lucky enough to watch Dennis Bergkamp play will tell you he was one of the most technically gifted players that's ever graced the Premier League. His footwork was just sensational. His ball control was marvellous, and he was a joy to watch back in the day. Anyway, still 0-0, half an hour in. Yet to break Brighton down. We've had the ball, but haven't done anything with it yet. I said in the season opener, I think we're going to score a lot of goals this season, but we haven't really started off that way. In fact, it's been our defence that's been the key in our first 3 games. Only 1 goal conceded, 2 clean sheets already. This will be a 3rd one if we don't concede today, but still tied at 0-0. I'm going to tell the boys it is at half-time as well. I'm going to get assertive and say I'm far from pleased from what I've just seen from this team. Sessegnon's lost his confidence, so we'll just calmly fire him up by saying I'm happy with the performance, which that always works. And as things stand, this has been a poor game for us. I think I might have changed tactics as well because, eventually in FM, I've said this quite often, the AI teams will figure out how to counter your tactical system if you continuously play it without rotating it. So I think a change of tactics might be required soon enough. Yep, Brighton have definitely got us sussed out today, no doubt about that. So let's do that in the final half an hour, and let's switch to our 4-1-2-1-2 narrow, if you will, which we saw last year quite a bit. I'm going to take off Goncalves and push Sessegnon to play left wing back, and bring on Pedro Antonio to play alongside Play Maria as a front two. I think if Antonio's going to get his first goal for the club, he'll need a strike partner. And we'll take off Jason as well and bring on Vic Camarasa, who's so good in that deep line playmaker role. These will be our instructions in this 4-4-2 diamond narrow, and let's see if we can get ourselves a goal and make that double change here. 25 minutes to go, still deadlocked at 0-0. Shout to the boys to get creative as well. They're inspired by the feedback, but they're doing very little with it. Let's tell them to shoot on sight, stop playing out of defence. Let's be more direct in our play as well, and be more expressive in our creative freedom too. Still tied at 0-0. This will be a disappointing slip-up and our first of the season, but I did call it. I did say it happened at some point today. Finally, there's a highlight in stoppage time, first of the game, as Brighton are going to look to win it here down this right-hand side with Burrell, a young new-gen / regen right back across this. Zucchini is unmarked, and Stefano makes a brilliant last-ditch recovery challenge to perhaps prevent Brighton from getting all 3 points. Eventually we were going to slip up at some point, but this is a disappointing slip-up. It's a game where we failed to score for the first time this season. It's good to see that our defence has begun really well this year. That's our 3rd clean sheet in 4 games, but either way, I'm still far from pleased. We didn't really create anything, and for Pedro Antonio, I know he came off the bench, but still, our £50 million striker is yet to score a goal in a Cardiff shirt. That needs to change. He's on 110 grand a week. I've got a lot of faith in the Wonder Kid, but right now he's not repaying me. It's another game where he fails to score, and for us, our first slip up of the season as well. And I talked about it in the season opener. I said this year we're going to score a lot of goals. Evidently not. It's our defense so far that's been our main draw. Only 1 goal conceded in 4, but only 5 goals scored. That's not enough. To me, this is definitely one of the most challenging parts of the game, when you've got to start altering your tactics, perhaps need to make new systems as well. I'm not a very good tactical manager. When it comes down to making good business decisions and making the right signings and stuff, I think I'm pretty good at that. I think I'm pretty decent at building a nice backroom staff as well. But tactically, that's where I'm sort of exposed as a little bit of a fraud when it comes down to being a football manager. I am not good at tactics one bit, and I think what we'll do for the second game is switch to our 4-4-2 diamond narrow. However, if we fail to win this one against Zenit, at home to Huddersfield and away against Colchester, that'll be a good opportunity for us to make a new system. So we'll see how we got on against Zenit playing this style of play. If we fail to win this one, I think I'll have to make a new tactic system. Obviously, you guys have given me a lot of great suggestions for signings and for tactics as well. So if you've got any more for me, feel free to leave them in the comment section down below today, or let me know on Twitter at @Docklanders. But I'm thinking what we could do with this team is play a 3-5-2 or perhaps a 5-3-2. I quite like the idea of playing with 3 centre-backs in this Cardiff team because, again, defensively we started the season off really well. And I like to have a season where we are built on good defence, considering how poor we were in the first 3 or 4 years. 5-3-2, 3-5-2 could work quite well, I think. But we will go to the 4-4-2 diamond narrow today and see how we get on. So this will be a team for the game. First ever Europa League game at home to Zenit. If we can get off to a winning start, that'll would be fantastic. So yeah, 4-4-2, custom gegenpress system, and this is our lineup. Onana in goal, back for a Sessegnon left wing back, Kimpembe, Jordi, and Odriozola as our back four. Our midfield quad is Camras sitting deeper, Gonzalez playing further forward, and through the central areas, Ward-Prowse and McKennie. And up top together, Maria and Antonio. I want to see Pedro get his first goal tonight. Great way to start off here on the European stage. Let's see if we can do it playing alongside Paleo. And on the bench, Henderson, Holding, Goncalves, McTominay, Alenia, Jason the captain, and Woodburn as well. So second and final game, it's Zenit. Let's get a winning start in the Europa League group stage. Come on, you Bluebirds. See, Zenit got the right idea. 5-1-2-2 DM wing back. You gotta love that. And no Jason is starting 11 today, so Maria leading the team out for our first ever Europa League game in a group stage. And I'll say to the boys calmly, I'll keep it calm. I'm not going to get assertive or passionate or aggressive either, but I'll calmly say to the boys, I expect nothing but a win from this match to keep our good run going, and that's not really worked out. Again, I discussed it in the season opener. Jason is eventually going to get phased out of this team as he is now getting on. So Maria will become permanent captain at some point one day. So these are the games where he's got to lead the team out and lead by example as well. He did it on many occasions last season. Let's see if we can do it again here against Zenit. Odriozola has space down the right-hand side. He's beaten his man and he's crossed the centre. And there is Paleo Maria. Speak of the devil to lead by example and give us the breakthrough 2.5 minutes in. The Spaniards link up. They were both called up for Spain in that win against Sweden in the international break. And it is Odriozola to Paleo as he gets his 8th goal this season already. Massive contract for Paleo to start the season off. New 5-year deal because he loves this team and we love Paleo. 1-0 Cardiff, perfect start. Oh, and a corner as well, which Ward-Prowse will take. Swings one in. Pedro Antonio denied by the goalkeeper, and Maria tracks down loose ball back to Ward-Prowse. Another cross, this time headed away. It will drop to McKennie, who goes for goal. Oh, Weston McKennie! Where has that come from? Is that his first goal for the club? Is that his first goal for the club? I don't think so. But it's his first goal of the season. And Weston McKennie doubles our lead 5 minutes in. And a change of tactics looks like the right thing to do. He takes a touch, gets it out of his feet. And look at that. Bends one into the bottom corner. You don't often see McKennie going for goal. But that's what he can do when he does go for goal. Wonderful strike. 2-0 Cardiff. Great start as well. 8 shots, 6 on target. I think that's already more than we had in the entire game against Brighton on the weekend. As Presnell nods it back to James Ward-Prowse, who crosses Maria's header, finds the back of the net, and it's 3-0 Cardiff. 14.5 minutes in. You know, I said Zenit were the team to watch in this Europa League group alongside us, but if this is the way we start, by thrashing them at home on the group opener, well, we are showing the other 3 teams in the group we are definitely going to top it this year, and no one's going to stop it. Kimpembe does it back to JWP, steps inside the area, lovely ball to the middle, and Paleo Maria heads it into the far corner. 3-0 Cardiff, 2 for Paleo already. And another highlight, we are not stopping. Pedro Antonio, Ward-Prowse fires it just wide. I want to see Antonio get his first goal for the club. Perfect opportunity with 3 goals up. We're hammering Zenit right now, hitting them at will. This has got to be the game where Pedro gets off the mark. Here's Crane Vitter for Zenit, and his pass is intercepted by Ryan Sessegnon, who strides forward over the halfway line. And there is the number 9. Pedro Antonio takes it down, and there it is. Finally, his first goal for the club. 17.5 minutes in. Cardiff City 4, Zenit St. Petersburg 0. What a start. I like Sessegnon at left wing back as well, because I've mentioned before, on the offensive end, occasionally he goes missing and doesn't contribute much. But at left back, he is pretty decent defensively, and he can drive the ball forward too with his electric pace. Lovely ball to the far post. Pedro Antonio takes it down, and for our number 9, he is finally off the mark, and we are not stopping. Corner to the centre, and oh, he should have had his second there. Still 4-0. We could be 6 or 7 goals up already. Long ball over the top towards Driussi. Zenit trying to get back in the game here, and a great block by Kimpembe. But it's dropped to Sakai. What a strike by the Japanese wingback. And Zenit have got, well, at least a consolation goal and perhaps a slight glimmer of hope as they try and claw themselves back from the death. Driussi shot well blocked by Presnell, but Sakai takes a touch, and what a strike into the far corner. Perhaps Onana could have done better. Either way, good goal, 4-1. Let's see if we can get our full goal cushion back instantly, shall we? Weston finds JWP, and he's having a great start to the game so far as Camras plays a lovely ball out wide towards Odriozola. That's what I love about Vicky. Opens up the play so well for us as Sessegnon receives that that long ball and crosses. Headed clear though, and it'll drop straight to Weston McKennie. Vic Camarasa is so underrated in the squad. He doesn't play much. Whenever he plays, he barely ever gives the ball away. As James Ward-Prowse hits the side netting. What a first half from Cardiff. 20 attempts and 12 on target with 69% possession as well. Fantastic first half display. Odriozola crosses, it's headed clear but straight to Gonzalez, who shoots and scores his third goal of the year. All of his goals have come in Europe, I believe, or perhaps no, 2 goals in Europe and 1 in the Carabao Cup, I think. I'm not too sure, but anyway, it's his third of the year, and Oscar Gonzalez had a very decent start to life here in Wales. Takes a touch on the SG area, comes inside, and the finish. Goalkeeper doesn't even dive for it, into the roof of the net. 5-1 Cardiff City in the first half. What a performance. So I'll say nothing to the boys at the break, because why would you when you see that there on the right hand side? Everyone is playing really well out there. And no need to make changes to the team either. Eventually I'll take off some starters with the game against Huddersfield coming in 3 days' time. But right now, 5-1 up. And we're making a statement tonight. We're making a big statement. We're going to maintain our undefeated start in all competitions to begin the campaign off. As Maria heads that corner just over the bar. And we're showing the teams in Europe, we're not a Europa League team, man. We're a Champions League team. And for next year, we want to go back into that competition. We'll have 2 ways to get into the Champions League this year. By winning this competition, the Europa League, and finishing in the top 4 as Gonzalez hits the post and Zenit clear it away. I want a 6th and 7th goal now. Let's get another couple. Camarasa spreads the play out wide. Sessegnon again. I love it when he does that. As Ryan finds Gonzalez. Oh, Oscar Gonzalez! Calm it down, son. Club record signing, proving he's worth every penny to start the campaign off. Ryan feeds him the ball, his 2nd assist of the game. Look at that from Camarasa. Effortless crossfield ball. Sessegnon lays it off to Gonzalez. Oscar takes a touch and smacks it into the top corner. Cardiff City 6, Zenit St. Petersburg 1. What a start to the Europa League. And we're not stopping. Ward-Prowse's free kick, headed on and cleared, and Geordie flicks on. Goalkeeper fumbles it, and it's gone in as well. Kimpembe gets his first of the year. 7-1 to Cardiff. Well, this is going to be our biggest win of the save so far. And what a performance it's been as Sessegnon. Oh my! There's always something that happens every episode that makes me want to tear my bloody hair out. Ryan Sessegnon, I was praising earlier in the game, heads it into the bottom corner, and Andre Onana, I think he'll want that one back as well. Well, actually, no, to be fair, it was a poor back header by Sessegnon, wasn't it? It was into the bottom corner. He gets a touch on it, but can't keep it out. I'm not sure who takes the blame for that one. They'll have to share it. 7-2, though, and that's a poor goal to throw away. Gonzalez for Cardiff, playing a nice through ball to Woodburn off the bench down the right-hand side. He's got Maria in the middle, and there it is, the hat-trick for Paleo Maria. I couldn't take him off when he was going for the match ball, and now I can't take him off because I made my 3rd sub. Woodburn was that 3rd sub, and he's had a good start to the season, Ben Woodburn, as well. Hadn't scored a goal all season long last year after signing for us in January, but this year, I think he's already got 2. And now an assist as well as he dinks one to the middle. Maria on the edge of the 6-yard area, heads it home. 8-2 Cardiff City. Can we get a 9th goal just before the final whistle happens as well? Odriozola crosses to Maria and Paleo. Oh, Paleo Maria. Give this guy whatever he wants. It's his 11th goal here already. It's 4 goals in the game for Maria. The first time we've seen that in the save so far. Someone score 4 or more goals. And of course, it had to be our vice-captain and our captain of the night. Takes it down, takes another touch and finesses it home. Cardiff City 9. Zenit St. Petersburg 2. We already know the back page headlines tomorrow morning for the Cardiff Times or whatever the newspaper is in Cardiff. It will be Cloud 9 for the Bluebirds. Cardiff City 9, Zenit St. Petersburg 2. Maria with 4, and passionately, I've got to be passionate after that display. I'll say passionately, I'm very happy, and I am very happy with the result and the way you played. Our first slip up of the season against Brighton away. How do we respond? Group opener against our strongest rivals for the top spot in the Europa League group stage. 9-2 on the opening day. Absolutely fantastic, and what a win for Cardiff, and what a performance from Paleo Maria. Absolutely superb from our team leader and our vice-captain. He'll get the captain permanently from Jason one day. And this is what I was talking about earlier, the red arrows that come when you start developing a weaker foot. But either way, Maria, great display. And what a start to the season for Maria as well. It's already 11 goals to begin the campaign in all competitions. He's been on fire and certainly justifying that new 5-year deal to start the season off. But that was today's episode of the Football Manager series, guys. So a big thank you for watching. Really hope you have enjoyed it. If you did enjoy enjoyed today's episode, and please do drop a like, as likes are, of course, very much appreciated, and do like channel out as well. Much love to you all. Have a fantastic day. I will come back with games against... I think we should gather a bit of pace in Season 7. There's not a good doubleheader for a while, so I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll come back for an away day away at Old Trafford against Manchester United, a really big test there against the Red Devils, and then Vitesse in the 4th game of the Europa League group stage, where hopefully we've won the other 2 and are still top of the group as well. So thanks for watching, guys. Have an awesome, awesome Sunday. Much love to you, and I'll see you for the next episode very soon. Bye now.